From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. Thursday going to be a first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley, as some of those peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We'll have a lot more to say about that coming up later in the show. But first, for this morning, taking a live look at Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal. Already seeing plenty of sunshine out there, and there are going to be plenty of views just like that all throughout the rest of today. Right now, temperatures in the 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 40s in the Cascades, 30s and 40s up in the Blues. Your day planner forecast throughout the rest of today for lower elevations. Lots of sunshine. High temperature is going to end up being about 5-ish degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. We will have some small shower and thunderstorm chances for tomorrow night. In the wake of that, very strong wind gusts, especially in the Kittitas Valley on Thursday. We just talked about that. And staying pretty summer-like through Sunday, but back to more of a spring-like feel for the beginning of next week. I'll tell you just how cool we could trend coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a wildfire has scorched dozens of acres in Franklin County, leading to multiple fire crews rushing in to battle that blaze. We're going to let you know what sparked those flames coming up. Plus, a Richland man is facing the maximum sentence after a disturbing child sex abuse investigation, how a social media tip led to his arrest. And snake season has slithered into Washington, where the venomous ones are turning up, and what you need to know to stay safe. It's all coming up with more on this and other headlines on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott. Jessica has the morning off. We want to start in Franklin County this morning. Fire crews responding to a wildfire just last night near the 1400 block of Stein Road. Take a look. Photos from the scene sent in by Franklin County Fire District 1. Call came in around 6. Multiple agencies worked to contain the growing fire. It burned about 60 acres before crews were able to get it contained. According to Franklin County Fire District 1, the suspected cause was a lightning strike. And from Kittitas and Walla Walla County to several fires in Benton County stretching into Umatilla, the extremely dry weekend has kept fire crews busy. Franklin County crews also on the scene of another wildfire, this one on Miller Road and Curry Road. According to information from officials, the fire burned at least one utility pole and damaged part of the power line, so crews were sent out to try to get those things repaired. The Patterson Slough fire, that's in Benton County, that has burned more than 400 acres. That started Saturday night and was considered to be deactivated by yesterday morning. And then right next to that one, the Patterson Ridge fire, also in Benton County, burning about 50 acres. Crews continuing to monitor this fire. The Highway 730 fire, that's just northeast of Hermiston in Umatilla County, also burned about 150 acres, with Monday night's heavy rain helping firefighters out there. And then an update on the wildfire over in Klickitat County. That one started yesterday evening. State Patrol and Department of Natural Resources also on scene to monitor Highway 14 because smoke was making visibility very limited there. Right now, we are told that fire is contained with an estimated just 5 acres scorched. Multiple crime alerts we want to talk to you about this morning. Union Gap officers, they're still on the hunt for a homicide suspect. According to authorities, on Sunday afternoon, a welfare check was conducted off of Cornell Avenue. Well, when investigators got there, they found a woman and her dogs dead inside the home. They later identified that woman as 63-year-old Tina Paris. As the investigation continues, officials are asking anyone with information to contact Union Gap Police. And in Richland, a local man has received the maximum sentence possible for a case involving a child sex abuse. After a social media tip, Southeast Regional Internet Crimes Against Children and the Benton County Prosecutor's Office say they executed a search warrant at the home of 26-year-old Ryan Lader. They found evidence of child sex abuse, and as they continued their investigation there, it led authorities to identify 2 other kids that were victims in Oklahoma. Later was sentenced to 7 years of incarceration, followed by 3 years of community custody. And in Yakima, recent cuts from the federal government, it has one local organization sounding the alarm. Safe Yakima Valley, the Yakima-based nonprofit organization, is dedicated to improving and safeguarding the community. They do it through outreach, education, special events, and they strive to highlight what's best about the Yakima Valley and keep people safe when it comes to drugs and alcohol abuse.
Whether it's Yakima County, Benton County, Franklin County, Grant County, this this administration's quote-unquote skinny budget pretty much eliminates prevention funding moving forward. And so we are asking constituents to reach out to Senators Murray and Cantwell and Congressman Newhouse.
Now, of the treatment and prevention budget, prevention only gets 3%. So Tobin is also concerned about Governor Ferguson's cuts with the latest legislature. She says future grant opportunities are now uncertain. 6:05 now, taking a look back at events from around our area for Memorial Day. Community members gathered in Kennewick to honor the brave men and women who gave their lives for our country. They did this at Desert Lawn Memorial Park. They hosted a powerful Memorial Day ceremony, one filled with emotion, remembrance, and pride. The sound of salutes and applause filled the air, a solemn tribute to thousands of local veterans laid to rest not only here but across the nation. The ceremony included 2 skydivers who soared overhead, symbolizing the spirit of freedom, who those honored helped protect. For Marine Corps veteran Chuck Forrester, the day is deeply personal, a time to honor and reflect on the sacrifices made.
You know, these people went off, they had a job to do. They accomplished that or helped to accomplish that, and in the midst, they didn't return. They didn't get to see their children. Their parents didn't get to see them again, or, you know, other family members. So this is an important day where we get a chance to remember those that went off and did not come back.
Forrester's father served in World War II, and his service inspired Chuck to join the military himself. While he didn't lose any immediate family in combat, Forrester says he lost more than 100 brothers in Beirut, and for him, the day was about honoring them. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, a warning from Washington officials to pet owners, how a day on our local waterways can turn deadly for your pets. We have those details coming up. And give you that live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal Skycam here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will be back with your first alert forecast after the break. It is 6 minutes after 6.
Here comes the sun. Get moving with a new car from Overturf Kia. The new all-around rugged 2025 Kia Telluride S model gives you more ways to explore. Lease one now for just $389 per month. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
What does it mean to be here for good? It means being here for the artists who dream, the shop owner who knows your order by heart, and the mentors who leave a lasting impact. Here for singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and big comeback stories. Here for the long haul from Omak to Sandpoint to Baker City. Here for your family, your neighbors, for you. STCU. Here for good.
The magic continues when Alice steps into the $185,000 prize land at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Join in the madness with $16,000 in cash and prizes every Friday and Saturday, and a chance to multiply your prize up to $4,000 cash. Rack up entries with a multiplier on Mondays, and hurry, don't be late for a very important grand prize day. May 31st, 4 winners and someone wins $20,000 cash. Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Celebrate 3 decades of fun.
Fiction at J. Bookwalter presents the Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Live music in the best company, friends, food, and spirit at Fiction at J. Bookwalter now through October. Check our concert series lineup and times by going to bookwalterwines.com under the Shop tab or use our QR code here. The Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Proceeds benefiting the Children's Hospital and WSU.
When uncertainty falls upon your freedom, you need an unwavering champion. We're dedicated to not just tipping the scales in your favor, but also delivering an unwavering and relentless defense. With over 5 decades of experience, we'll fiercely defend your freedom and secure the most favorable outcome. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. We start off in Kittitas County, where we are mostly in the 40s, although we are at 52 in Vantage, 47 for Ellensburg, 41 up towards Snoqualmie Pass. In the Yakima Valley, interesting spread of temperatures, 43 in Yakima, 52 up the road in Union Gap, 51s for Toppenish and Grandview. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, most of us within a few degrees, 50 degrees, right at 50 in the Tri-Cities. Then in the Blue Foothills, we're seeing a mixture of 40s and 50s, 30s and 40s up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Could be a little bit frosty up towards Cabbage Hill or Meacham. Here's your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket stuff for this morning as soon as 10. So by the late morning, it's already going to be t-shirt weather, as we'll end up with highs in the low 80s. So for today, mostly sunny skies. High temperatures about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That means mostly 80s for lower elevations, 60s and 70s up in the mountains. Wind gust not going to be that notable for today. Could be a little bit breezy towards Salinas Pass or down towards Lexington and Heppner. For tonight, clear skies, overnight lows down into the 50s, so pretty mild for lower elevations, 40s and 50s even up in the mountain ranges. Now we're going to have a big time warm up as we head into Wednesday. Shower and thunderstorm chances Wednesday night into Thursday. Very gusty winds for Thursday. That's why we're going with the first alert weather day, in fact. So I'll tell you just how strong some of those gusts could be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. Talking environmental news this morning, it's hitting close to home. As the summer heats up, more dog owners are taking their beloved pets outdoors. Well, Clark County public officials are warning people about some local waterways like the Columbia River, which have tested positive for a new type of toxic algae. All of this comes after a family's dog died when coming into contact with that algae. Shelby Slaughter reports.
It was October, the last boating day of the season. The Pang family taking their boat out on the Columbia River. Their adventure-loving Cavapoo Cedar was with them too.
I saw Cedar, he was out, I was watching him the whole time, and he was out kind of playing with my, she was 4 at the time, my 4-year-old, and they were kind of digging, playing in the sand together.
Elise Pang says that's when she noticed her 2-year-old dog had a sick look in his eyes. He collapsed right in front of them, and it all went downhill from there.
I pretty much immediately started doing CPR on him.
Cedar was already gone by the time his family raced him to the vet. Test results later showed he died from a toxic algae called benthic algae mat, something public health officials didn't even know was in the Columbia River.
The benthic algae is the one that grows on the rocks, which is what this was.
In a recent public health meeting, officials said it can grow at the bottom of river and lake floors. It hasn't been known to be in waters near Oregon and Washington until Cedar's death alerted them to it. Now, 6 months later, the Pang family has opened their hearts to a new puppy.
Yes, good girl.
Just a few months old and already sprinting around the house. But the Pangs tell me they won't be taking her anywhere near the water that took Cedar and haven't quite felt ready to go themselves.
That was the last boating trip of the season for us.
We're ready to go, but as of right now, I don't think we feel very comfortable yet.
Now, Washington officials recommend before visiting any waterways, search their database to see if that water has been tested for toxins. You can find that data and more information on toxic algae at nwtoxicalgae.org. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back after the break, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full first alert forecast, giving you that live look outside from the Yakima Federal Cam here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. It is 6:13 and we're back after the break.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single Papa Burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get 2.
The Tuesday Special at A&W.
Thinking of upgrading your kitchen? Don't miss your opportunity this Memorial Day at Fred's Appliance. Your local, veteran-founded, family-owned appliance expert since 1962. Say hello to Cafe Appliance Packages. Stunning pairing and trusted features. With GE Cafe, you don't have to compromise style for function. Customize your kitchen to look the way you want with top-of-the-line finishes and looks. Build your GE Kitchen Cafe suite and save up to an additional $3,000 with mail-in rebate.
Yakima Federal Savings and Loan was founded in 1905 and has kept your money safe and sound for 120 years. Your deposits at YakFed help people buy homes and build strong communities. We believe in giving back, proudly supporting local events and organizations that make a difference where we all live and work. With 10 local branch locations, we're committed to our communities and keeping your money secure. Experience the difference. Call, click, or come by and make the switch today.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays only, Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
Apple Valley News Now is Yakima.
Apple Valley News Now is Pendleton.
Apple Valley News Now is Tri-Cities.
Our broadcast center may be in Kennewick, but Apple Valley News Now is everywhere.
From the Blues in the east to the Cascades in the west, one television station is everywhere you want us to be. We're Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
We are on your side.
The Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Club, Fly the Northwest, tonight at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning North. Almost had a cough there. All right, stifled it just enough. Thursday, First Alert Weather Day, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Kittitas Valley, peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. So let's show you how we get to that point. This is Futurecast radar tomorrow at 4 p.m. Not today. Today is going to be dry. Tomorrow is going to be pretty dry as well, but it's going to be during the late evening, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's when some showers could start to approach from the south and west. I don't think Futurecast is being as bullish on some of these shower thunderstorm chances as I am, especially up in the Cascades, but that's really splitting hairs, as we're not going to end up with that much rainfall at all from the storm system. But if you want to track those precip chances in your neck of the woods, of course, download the First Alert Weather app for free in the App Store or on Google Play. Now, in the wake of that storm system passing for Thursday, wind gusts are going to be breezy/windy across the map, especially in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak gusts up around 60 miles per hour, around 50 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. So we could see some spotty power outages, down tree limbs, and difficult travel for high-profile vehicles in Kittitas County on I-82, I-90, and Washington 821. Okay, our forecast going to stay pretty dry through Saturday. Could have a small chance of a shower in the Cascades for Sunday, and still low end but slightly more widespread chances of showers and thunderstorms by the time we get to Monday. Keep that in mind, as well, high temperatures going to surge up for Wednesday. We'll be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That Wednesday-Thursday system going to cool us off a little bit for Thursday and Friday. Temperatures rebound for Saturday, and then that Sunday-Monday storm system, you can see it's also going to do a number to our high temperatures. So a lot of ebbs and flows in the forecast over the next 7 days. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Around 95 degrees for Wednesday and Saturday, then a struggle to make it out of the 70s at the start of next week. In Yakima, highs bounce between the 80s and 90s through Sunday, and expecting windy weather Thursday and Sunday. In Ellensburg, very windy and substantially cooler for Thursday, then more winds with another cool down this weekend into the beginning of next week. In Hermiston, dry with highs fluctuating between the 80s and 90s through Sunday, then a return to spring fill for next Monday. Finally, for Walla Walla, maybe hitting 90 on Wednesday and Saturday, but shower chances will cool us down at the beginning of next week.
Thanks, Josh. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we have your entertainment headlines and a singer and actress getting hitched over the weekend. Coming up, we'll tell you who the lucky guy is.
If you have heart failure or chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life, because there are places you'd like to be. Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and bacterial infection between the anus and genitals, both which may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness or swelling between the anus and genitals. Ask your doctor about Farxiga today.
Farxiga. Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Knowing these laws sets my truck wreck team apart. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck, our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter.
The Heavy Hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
When enjoying the sun, remember sunscreen wears off. Reapply if you're out longer than 2 hours and after swimming. More about preventing skin cancer at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Skin cancer prevention and screening available at Prosser Memorial Health. Visit prosserhealth.org. Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back, 622, and we start with some sad news out of the entertainment world. One of the reality show stars from Duck Dynasty has passed away.
The family of Phil Robertson says he died Sunday, months after it was announced that he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah, Robertson was 79 years old. You see him right there. The reality show aired from 2012 through 2017, following the Robertson family and their duck hunting business in Louisiana. All right, in some sports headlines this morning, former Olympic gymnast Mary Lou Retton was arrested for driving under the influence. It happened May 17th in West Virginia. A 57-year-old was charged with one misdemeanor count of driving under the influence of alcohol, controlled substances, or drugs. Now, according to court records, a judge gave her a $1,500 personal recognizance bond. She, of course, became a household name in the 80s, becoming the first American woman to earn an Olympic medal in the individual all-around event in the 1984 Olympics in LA. All right, extra special holiday weekend for Miss Demi Lovato.
That's because on Sunday, the singer-actress got married to fellow recording artist Jordan Jutes Lutz in California.
Yeah, the couple reportedly met in early 2022 while working on one of Lovato's albums. Lutz proposed the following year.
Lovato told Vogue magazine that she wore a gown designed by Vivienne Westwood and a different Westwood dress during the reception.
Lovato and Lutz share songwriting credits on a couple of tracks, including Substance and City of Angels. Congrats to them. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A bizarre scene in Findlay. Deputies find a car in a canal and a soaked suspect who swears
Wasn't him.
Wasn't him. Nope. We have all those details coming up. Plus, it hasn't moved in more than a century, but a historic locomotive rolling forward in Walla Walla will take you to the scene of local history on the move. 624. We're back after the break.
I met a cute poodle outside. She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free.
When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free. Hello? That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
Call 853-2222.
One of the best female groups of all time, En Vogue, in concert. Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel. The multiple Grammy Award nominees with more than 20 million records sold worldwide. En Vogue. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss En Vogue live Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel.
It's the Jayco Summer Escape event at Broadmoor RV, June 6th through the 8th. Our biggest sale of the year is here, like the J-Flight SLX 170 BHW, just $15,990, or the spacious SLX 260 BHW for only $23,990. Family owned and family focused, we're here to help you go make memories in a brand new Jayco RV, only at Broadmoor RV, June 6th through the 8th. Don't miss it.
Discover the joy of music with a new Yamaha piano from Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, where elegance meets opportunity. For a limited time, enjoy 24 months of 0% financing on qualified new Yamaha pianos. From timeless grands to cutting-edge digitals, Yamaha delivers beauty, precision, and playability. Visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in the Uptown Shopping Center in Richland, or call 509-567-3113. Life's more fun when you know how to play.
Get ready, Walla Walla. The sweetest season is here. Join us at the ballpark as the Walla Walla Sweets hit the field for another unforgettable season. Whether you're a diehard fan or just looking for a fun night out, there's something for everyone at a Walla Walla Sweets game. Grab your peanuts, popcorn, and Lucky Cap, because this season the Walla Walla Sweets are bringing the thrill of baseball right to your backyard. Don't miss out on the excitement. Get your tickets now and be part of the Walla Walla Sweets experience. Let's play ball.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90.
Hey, we're tired of having the wool pulled over our eyes with these hidden requirements. What aren't we seeing?
Yeah. Do we get our choice of free phones?
Yep, you get the latest phones.
I bet we have to trade in our old phones, though.
Nope, sure don't.
Wow.
High five. Almost. Higher. Yes. Nope.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, built for us.
I met a cute poodle outside. She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free.
When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free. Hello? That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
Call 853-2222.
The Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Club. Fly the Northwest tonight at 6. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Joining us here on this Tuesday morning for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Jessica has the morning off, and you are rocking and rolling with this 3-degree guarantee.
Thank you. It's starting to get to nervous times again, because we got to another critical threshold yesterday. Let's go ahead and show you that. The jackpot now up to $800. This means it's been 32 days in a row of the forecast being correct. Again, my ultimate goal with a capital G would be $1,000. The jackpot getting up to $1,000. That would mean 40 forecasts correct in a row. We'll see if we get there. That's why it's fingernail biting time. So yesterday, forecast high 80, verified at 81 in Pasco Tri-Cities. Today, forecast high of 83. It's got to be between 80 to 86 for the jackpot to get up to $825. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours, and it's a good one, folks. So to find out how to win the jackpot, go to AppleValleyNewsNow.com, click on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. All right, now what's on your screen is a familiar sight, as we've seen a lot of these this spring. First alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley because of peak wind gusts. Peak gusts between 55 to 60 miles per hour. That would be between 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. We'll talk about that at length later in the show. But first, we're going to start off in another valley, in the Yakima Valley. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. Seeing some clouds up in the sky for this morning. I'm thinking later in the day should be mostly sunny out there. Right now, temperatures in the 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 40s up into Cascades, 30s and 40s for the Blues. Could be a little bit frosty down towards Cabbage Hill or Meacham. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Plenty of sunshine all throughout the day. Highs getting into the low 80s, so we'll be about 5-ish degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Just a gorgeous day out there, and I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's beautiful forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. We begin this half hour of news out on the roadways where 2 people were taken to the hospital after crashing at an intersection in Benton County. Benton County Sheriff's Office saying this intersection is a known problem in the neighborhood. So the crash happened at the intersection of East Riata Road and South Bermuda Road just after 8:30 yesterday morning. Sheriff's Office says one driver didn't stop at the stop sign on Bermuda and was hit by another car as it was driving onto Riata Road. Both cars ended up in the yards of homes on opposite sides of Riata. Sheriff's Office says that they are monitoring the area due to several traffic complaints and problems at that intersection. And busy holiday travel also interrupted on US 395. At least 2 cars, possibly more, crashed on 395 about a mile past the 397 exit in Benton County. Excuse me, Washington State Patrol on scene trying to direct that busy interstate traffic while helping several people spread out between those vehicles. Unknown if anyone was injured in that crash. And taking you to Findlay, where a man was arrested after deputies found his car submerged in a canal near South Oak Street and East Bowles Road. Take a look. This is an image sent in from the Benton County Sheriff's Office. Deputies responding to the reports of a car in the water. Soon after, they started getting calls coming in about a man walking through neighborhoods claiming his vehicle might be in a canal. Well, when deputies found him, he was soaked from the waist down, but denied driving, despite being the registered owner and also having the key fob in his pocket. He was arrested for hit and run, and the vehicle was later towed out of that canal. 6:31 and an alert for Washingtonians. With temperatures on the rise, snake season is officially underway. Washington Poison Center has issued a safety alert as the western rattlesnake, the state's only venomous species, becomes more active. Recent sightings have been reported all around the region from Kittitas to Grant, Yakima, Franklin, Benton, and Walla Walla counties, and at least 2 snake bites have already been confirmed this year. The Poison Center reminds residents, though, bites are rare. If you do get bit, stay calm and call 911. 6:31 now, and a follow-up to a story that we brought you earlier this month. The fate of Kennewick's only 24-hour pharmacy has been determined. So following the Rite Aid filing for bankruptcy and closing many of its stores across the country, or even selling them, a lot of people were concerned about what would happen to the Rite Aid in Kennewick right off of 395. We last reported that the store was in the process of accepting bidders for purchase. It was the last shot it had for staying open. Now officials say CVS has purchased the Kennewick Rite Aid, but you'll most likely see the new signs within the next couple of months. Whether it will stay open around the clock, that's still to be determined. One customer, though, is hoping that the new CVS store will continue operating 24/7.
That's something that is very rare around here, except for the Rite Aids. So that would be a good thing to keep that. It's important to have pharmacies close by for me to get my prescriptions and my family to get their prescriptions. It's less than halfway across town for me, so it's definitely convenient.
Apple Valley News now reached out to CVS Corporate, who told us this. They say they are working closely with Rite Aid on plans to ensure that the transition will be seamless for patients and customers and access to pharmacy care is not interrupted. They say once the sale is finalized, we look forward to welcoming Rite Aid colleagues who are interested in applying to join the CVS team. 6:33 taking you to Walla Walla, where there's some exciting news. For the first time in over a century, the historic Blue Mountain locomotive will roll forward at Fort Walla Walla Museum. Crews with Columbia Rail are set to arrive Thursday morning to lay some new track and move the engine. It's all a part of a major update to the Walla Walla and Columbia River Railroad exhibit. And it's all leading up to the 150th anniversary celebration of the railroad's completion this fall. More upgrades are still ahead, including new walkways and interpretive signs. And a local historical society is earning statewide recognition. The Kiona-Benton City Historical Society's short film, Rustic Relics, has won the Washington Museum Association's 2025 Award of Excellence in Publications. The film explores 5 heritage barns across Benton County, spotlighting their history, preservation, and the people who care for them. The features interviews with state preservationists, with leaders, and it also raises some questions about the future of these rural landmarks. They will be awarded on June 10th at UAMA's annual conference. 6:34, check this out. Last week, crews from Station 65 and Logistics 111 with Benton County Fire District 1 teamed up for a heartwarming rescue. Several ducklings had gotten into a storm drain, but with a little patience and some teamwork, all of the feathered friends were safely pulled out and reunited with their mama. Fire crews said that it was a proud moment and serves as an example on how the team treats every call, big or small, with care. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, it is no question AI has taken the world by storm, slowly becoming part of our everyday lives. And that's certainly the case for one Washington State dispatch center. Coming up, we'll take a look at how 911 call centers are utilizing this new technology.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee weather. Apple Valley News Now on your side.
Tuesdays are my favorite day of the week because the single Papa Burger combos are just $5.99. And I wait all week for this.
And so do I.
And that's why I always get two.
The Tuesday special at A&W.
70th anniversary savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Stop in, pick up a book, and our employee owners are here to help you save. Pepsi brand 12 packs are buy two, get two free. Save $5 on World Kitchen Jerky. MD 8-roll bath tissue is just $5.99. Bagged Nutrinuggets dry dog food is $5 off. And save with our Memorial Day paint sale. Save up to $10 per gallon with our digital rebates. Save through June 2nd with open house savings at Bi-Mart since 1955.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet, repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is $0. All I have to do is pick up the phone and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
It's hump day, and you know what that means. Hello, Country Fried Steak. Get a delicious meal for just $5.99 to make your Wednesday feel like the weekend. Yes, Wednesday's only Country Fried Steak is just $5.99. Happy hump day from KFC.
It's time to lose your generic weather app. Scan this QR code to download the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app. It's the app you need from the team you trust.
The Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app, only from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Next live, Julianne Moore from Sirens, plus Atlanta housewife Phaedra Parks, and it's no gear workout week.
What happens when you start ripping and tearing?
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. Folks, it is going to be a gorgeous one out there. And we start off in Kittitas County. We're going to be in the mid-70s up towards Snoqualmie Pass, low 80s in the Kittitas Valley, mostly sunny skies. Then in the Yakima Valley, it's the same thing, mostly sunny skies. High is going to be in the low 80s, and peak gust should be light. Also light winds overall in the lower Columbia Basin. Most of us also in the low to mid 80s, could have some upper 70s down towards Boardman. Then for the Blue Foothills, mid to upper 70s And some low 80s, so kind of a mixed bag in that regard. 60s and 70s up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. But here also plenty of sunshine. Could be a little bit breezy. Peak gust out of the north and east between 20 to 25 miles per hour in the Blue foothills of Morrow County. But other than that, wind's going to be fairly light across the map. Now let's talk about some fire fuel data. Here's today's vegetation dryness forecast. Remember, the 100th percentile would be the driest vegetation we've seen since 2005. We're going to be up into the 68th percentile for today in the Cascades, Kittitas Valley, and Upper Yakima Valley. So I would classify that as dry by fire season standards, but 42nd percentile for the Basin and foothills, 48th percentile for the Blue Mountains. By fire season standards, that's not too dry, but these numbers will fluctuate with fluctuating high temperatures over the next 7 days. I'll tell you about that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, time to talk some AI. We know artificial intelligence is really everywhere at this point. Yeah, especially over the last few years.
And from what we search online, the music we listen to, and the content we watch, AI, like we just said, is everywhere and only growing.
Yeah, but listen to this. It is also in Port Angeles. That is a town right here in Washington. They have found a new way to implement the technology as a way to help their 911 dispatch centers.
Eric Wilkinson has the details.
911 dispatchers here on the Olympic Peninsula take about 25,000 non-emergency calls every year. Combine that with the staffing shortage, and AI is coming to the rescue.
911, what's your location?
Artificial intelligence is answering non-emergency calls to fire and police at the PENCOM Dispatch Center. About half of the calls to 911 are not for actual emergencies. Those calls take resources away from dispatchers who should be focusing on more serious matters. Compounding the issue is the fact that the dispatch center is having a difficult time filling open positions. It's only about half staffed. That is where AI comes in.
Hi, my name is Ava, and I'm an automated assistant for Peninsula Communications.
The new technology answers less important calls, allowing dispatchers to prioritize issues that need immediate attention. AI listens for keywords and even inflections in the caller's voice to sense trouble. If any of those criteria are met, the call goes directly to a human.
If the AI detects that there is a potential life-threatening or property-threatening emergency that's happening right now, it doesn't hesitate, it just transfers it.
Interesting.
Very interesting, especially the part where it kind of detects how urgent your voice sounds. What if you're trying to stay calm? What if you're trying to, 'cause
right.
That's the typical advice you get in an emergency is try to stay calm. So what if you're too calm and then AI deduces you don't need any help? That would be tough.
I know. It'll be interesting to see kind of how they measure the system and the different calls that come in and how they're prioritized.
Yeah, cool idea though. Very
cool idea, absolutely. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, we have your morning sprint, everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. Give you that live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will have your full first alert forecast as we make our way through the week. It's 6:42, we're back after the break.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on drinks whenever you hit the afternoon slump.
We've got your pick-me-up covered because medium drinks are now $2.29. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Triple play! Triple play! Wow! Rob even makes two-pointers look cool!
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Triple play!
Like most people, my days are non-stop. When I'm working, I need to stay focused, not worried about my finances. That's why I went looking for a bank that makes managing my money effortless. Apple was exactly what I needed. Helpful people with easy-to-use tools. Now, I spend less time stressing about money and more time doing the things I enjoy. Where do you credit union?
It's the Click It RV Union Gap Pre-Memorial Day Sales Event. Huge manufacturer's discounts from Forest River, StarCraft, and more. Get 0 down financing and no payment for 90 days. And get top dollar for your trade. And as our way of saying thank you, active military and veterans get a $500 parts and service card. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. And get a 65-inch TV with every purchase. Nobody beats a Click It RV deal. We guarantee it. So don't miss the Click It RV Union Gap Pre-Memorial Day Sales Event. May 18th to the 30th.
If your bath has seen a lot of life, nobody gives it new life like Bath Fitter. Whatever shape your bath is in, Bath Fitter will transform it with an amazing number of styles and watertight walls that are grout-free and easy to clean. With 40 years of experience, Bath Fitter knows what people want. An affordable remodel that isn't just beautiful, it's guaranteed for life. When it's time to give your bath new life, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
In a world filled with accidents, the injured look to Mo because Mo knows these guys are bulldog tough on personal injury and workers' compensation claims. Mo knows you can go to the other guys, but why would you? From back in autumn, Bulldog Tough.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
When you say let's go to breakfast, you mean let's go to McDonald's. Obviously.
Get the morning going when you buy one breakfast sandwich and get another one for $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Club. Fly the Northwest tonight at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Thursday going to be a first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Some of those peak gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, I wanted to show you Futurecast radar. This is tomorrow at 4 p.m. So this isn't today at 4 p.m., tomorrow at 4 p.m. Today is going to be dry. Tomorrow is going to be dry as well. But tomorrow evening, it gets a little bit more interesting. Clouds starting to pick up at around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's when we could start to see some showers and even some thunderstorms approaching from the south and west. I'm personally thinking that this iteration of Futurecast not being as aggressive as I would otherwise like, but I think that's really splitting hairs, as overall we're not going to get that much rainfall from the system at all. But if you want to track the precip timing and chances for your address, of course you can download the First Alert Weather app for free in the App Store or on Google Play. Now, in the wake of that storm system, this is truly the important part. Thursday is going to be very windy across the map, especially in the Kittitas Valley. Again, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Peak gust around 60 miles per hour. Could be around 50 miles per hour in the Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County. So if we saw spotty power outages, down tree limbs, or difficult travel for high-profile vehicles on I-82, I-90, Washington 821, all that's going to be on the table for Thursday. I'll tell you what's not going to be on the table over the next 7 days. That's rainfall. Not much of it at all. Could have a little chance of a shower in the Cascades for Sunday, and then slightly better chances across the map on Monday, even some chances of thunderstorms. But overall, a pretty dry forecast, also a pretty hot forecast for this time of the year, especially for Wednesday and Saturday. For both of those days will be about 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. But those little storm systems, the one for Wednesday night, the one for Sunday night into Monday, look at what it does to our high temperatures, knocking us down into the mid-80s for Thursday and Friday. And then by Monday, we'll struggle to make it out of the 70s in the Tri-Cities after being in the mid-90s on Saturday. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, around 95 degrees for Wednesday and Saturday, then a struggle to make it out of the 70s at the start of next week, like we were just talking about. In Yakima, highs bounce between the 80s and 90s through Sunday, and expecting windy weather Thursday and Sunday. In Ellensburg, very windy and substantially cooler for Thursday, then more winds with another cool down this weekend into the beginning of next week. In Hermiston, dry with highs fluctuating between the 80s and 90s through Sunday, then a return to a spring fill for next Monday. Finally, for Walla Walla, maybe hitting 90 on Wednesday and Saturday, but shower chances will cool us down at the beginning of next week. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a dramatic rescue at sea. 4 people and 3 dogs stranded in the South Pacific after a violent storm demasted their catamaran and left it battered by towering waves and lightning, more than 170 nautical miles from New Caledonia.
There was a lot of emotions.
After shooting a flare into the sky, hope arrived in the form of the Carnival Splendor. A cruise ship diverted for 5 hours to reach them.
We're on our tiny boat. We saw this floating city just coming at us. I was like, they're gonna ram us.
Now safely aboard, the group says the real stars were their dogs, becoming instant celebrities with passengers and crew.
And that feeling as soon as you get on the cruise ship, there's all the staff members there, and you just kind of felt this massive relief.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll hear more from the rescued boaters. With your GMA First Look, I'm Stephanie Ramos, ABC News New York.
This week on Neutrogena Remembers.
Will you marry me?
I love you.
If you remember these two, it may be time to start using Neutrogena Retinol Regenerating Cream. It can reverse 7 years of visible aging. Great skin. Oh, to be young.
No application fee if you apply by May 30th at University of Maryland Global Campus, an accredited university that has transformed adult lives for more than 75 years. You're not waiting to win. You're ready to succeed again at umgc.edu.
When comfy softness beats meet fragrant scent beats, they blend together to create an incredible feeling beyond cozy called Cozy. New Downy Comfy Cozy breathes life into your laundry.
Don't let congestion take over. Afrin No Drips. Wow. Ridiculously fast nasal congestion relief.
Wow.
The wow is real.
Now, the morning sprint.
6:50 time for your morning sprint, and we start with your national headlines this morning. President Trump marking Memorial Day by laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery in Northern Virginia. He stood alongside Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth during the ceremony. You see it there on your screen. The president then delivered remarks from the cemetery's amphitheater. The president saying in his speech he paid tribute to veterans who, quote, made the ultimate sacrifice for the nation. Business headlines at 6:51. Dozens of protests took place at Target stores across the country this weekend. Organizers are calling on the retail chain to reinstate its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Protest comes on the 5th anniversary of the murder of George Floyd, the Minneapolis man who died while in police custody. Target is headquartered in Minneapolis, and after Floyd's death, the company made a pledge to the Black community that it would boost its efforts on inclusion. Earlier this year, Target rolled back its DEI programs. The company's decision created backlash. Nearly 70 churches are participating in the demonstrations. And a health alert for you. Last year, the Biden administration finalized rules that would have demanded coal and natural gas power plants to cut or capture 90% of its pollution by the year 2032. Well, an EPA spokesperson pointed to a Supreme Court decision 3 years ago that struck down an Obama-era Clean Power Plan. The agency said the Biden administration's replacement was similar in its overreach. Internal EPA documents claim public health would not be meaningfully improved even if power plants cut their emissions. Power plants are the second biggest emitters of plant warming pollution in the U.S. Sports headlines for you at 6:52. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark will be out at least 2 weeks with the left quad strain. Team making the announcement just yesterday. Clark will miss 4 games during that span, including 2 Commissioner's Cups games. One of those games is a matchup against the Chicago Sky and rival Angel Reese. Clark, who was the WNBA's 2024 Rookie of the Year, has averaged 19 points per game this season. The Fever said more updates on Clark will be available following a reevaluation. 6:52 and the top 5 things locally here you need to know this morning. Fire crews across the region have been busy. Several vegetation fires sparking in the past few days, including crews in Franklin County. They were called out just yesterday evening to a wildfire near the 1400 block of Stein Road. The call came in around 6. Multiple agencies worked quickly to contain that fire, which scorched about 60 acres before they got it under control. Franklin County Fire District 1 says that fire was likely caused by a lightning strike. And in Richland, a local man will spend the next 7 years behind bars after being sentenced in a disturbing child sex abuse case. Authorities say 26-year-old Ryan Lader was arrested after a tip to the Southeast Regional Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. A search of his home uncovered evidence eventually identifying 2 more victims in Oklahoma. He'll also serve 3 years of community custody after his 7-year release. And in Findlay, a man was arrested after deputies found his car submerged in a canal. You see it there on your screen. Deputies say he was soaking wet and still had the key fob in his pocket, but denied being the driver. He is now facing hit and run charges. And snake season has arrived in Washington. Officials are warning residents to watch their step. Only the western rattlesnake is venomous, but it's already caused at least 2 bites this year. They've been spotted all around the region, Benton, Franklin, Yakima, Walla Walla counties. Officials remind residents that it is rare to get bit, but in that rare event, you do need to call 911 immediately. And some local history in motion. For the first time in 115 years, the Blue Mountain locomotive is back on the tracks at Fort Walla Walla Museum. Crews extended the line last week as a part of the project celebrating the 150th anniversary of the Walla Walla and Columbia River Railroad. They have some more updates planned and a big celebration this October. All right, 6:54 trending this morning. At times, traveling can be a little bit of a pain in the neck.
Like literally too. I always get a crick in my neck.
On an airplane?
On the airplane, yeah. But for one man, his trip quickly turned into a pain in the arm.
Uh-oh.
The man found himself trapped while trying to find his missing earbud.
Oh, no.
His arm got stuck under a train armrest while searching for a dropped AirPod.
The man's hand swelled so much that firefighters had to use hydraulic equipment to free him. They had to dismantle the seats and the luggage rack, and then they had to saw through the armrest.
The man was trapped for about an hour and a half before he and his AirPods, thankfully, were rescued.
My goodness.
Listen, I understand this though, because when I can't find my AirPods, specifically my AirPod case, I flip. I can't do anything until I find them. So to him, I'm not sure if I would have gone to
Well, I don't think he
those
was
links.
trying to get his arm stuck. I think it just happened,
Sure.
But man.
It had to be a tight spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all is well.
And I'm glad they had to saw through the armrest and not the arm, right?
That's definitely
I was thinking
a
like
positive.
a 27 hours.
Oh,
the guy who was
who got
behind the
stuck
rock.
in the 127 hours.
I totally flubbed that, but that's what I was. That's what I was
that would have been
of.
awful. No,
Yeah.
all is well. He found his AirPods, still has his arm. That's good news.
Good.
All right. Hey,
Everything's in order.
Everything's in order.
Yeah.
And so is the forecast. It's gonna be another great day.
Yeah, it is. It is going to be a superb day for today in particular, and then a lot of ebbs and flows over the next 7 days. Let's go ahead and talk about our temperatures for this morning. It's not feeling half bad out there. 40s and 50s for lower elevations, a little bit cooler up in the higher terrain of the Cascades and Blues. We're still tracking 30s and 40s. Later today, plenty of sunshine, a great day to be outside. Will be about 5 degrees warmer than normal for late May. So that means 70s and 80s for lower elevations. The bottom line for the forecast, we'll have small shower and thunderstorm chances for Wednesday night. Doesn't look like we're going to get that much rainfall from that system at all. Another round of very strong winds in the wake of that system on Thursday. And then highs, they ebb and flow, mostly summer-like though through Sunday, but definitely back to spring at the beginning of next week. Now, circling back to the winds for Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., first alert weather day. You guessed it, Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour.
Ponytail day.
Another one. Another one.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks so much for waking up with us watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find more on the latest stories on our website, AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Good Morning America's up next, and we'll, of course, be back tonight at 5 with your local news and weather.
Have a great day.